All right, the champ is here, loved by many, hated by a few, respected by all, second to none. That's right, loved by many, hated by a few, respected by all, second to none. We are live here on the real CNN, the Commission Nation Network, because we never leave your hood. And we have the best radio podcast show from Como to the Congo. And now you know. If you're in Fort Worth, you know where Como's at. And if you're part of the world, which clearly you are, because you're listening to us and looking at us on fbrn.us, well, you should know where the Congo's at. And if you don't know, you need to ask somebody. This show is being produced by Victor, who's handling the controls, and we also have a paid political announcement by Mohamad for sheriff. I wrote that all in so you won't get in no kind of trouble. Somebody starts saying you advertising and you didn't do the disclaimer or anything like that. But we got Lieutenant Sam Mohamad for sheriff.
Yes, sir.
Back in the house again.
Back in the house
Appreciate you for being here again. Thank you for tuning in. As you know, on the Commerce Radio Show, well, we like to always give you up-to-date news, and you're still kicking it.
This
is your second time being on the show within, a couple of months now. Well, we appreciate you for that.
Surely. I love it. I appreciate you inviting me over here, and I wouldn't miss it. So thanks for having me.
All right, not a problem. Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Yes, sir. Likewise, you too.
Thank you.
And to Victor and everybody in the staff.
Thank you. So what brings you here this weekend? I mean, a lot of people here in Fishkill, they're not here. Victor probably would have been out there except
we got work to do.
That's what I told him.
We got work to do.
Victor, I know your mic's not hot, but what I told you before was, hey, justice never sleeps. Justice never sleeps. You proved that point. You just did that right. You weren't even reading from a script.
No script. There's no scripted.
Yeah, it's not scripted.
We'll keep it real here.
Keeping it real, because
show,
that's
right?
it. That's it. The real CNN.
The real
So,
the real CNN.
What's been up with the campaign lately?
So we, since last time we spoke, I've developed more knowledge about a lot of things that I was researching before. Spoke with a lot of folks, and been doing a lot of interviews and meeting a lot of people in the county and within the law enforcement community. And again, keeping this whole thing real, and the ambition is higher than ever. We've been just taking care of family. Like we know, family always first. Taking care of that, and also the community, and we're also taking care of work and taking care of the this campaign. Just learning a whole lot about it. So attending a lot of training sessions, talking to a lot of youth programs, getting involved in the community, a lot of outreach and helping out those who need it, meeting with a lot of city officials, police chiefs in the area, and also attending meetings with government councils in the area just to see what their citizens are facing and what issues law enforcement can bring to the table to help out, especially when we become sheriff in the county of Dallas. So
I like that optimism you had.
That's right.
I also like the fact you brought your family here. I like to salute your family as well.
Thanks, sir.
I've talked to your wife and your son, and they're great people.
Thank you.
And thank you for having bring them as well. I found out I have newfound friends.
That's right.
So I appreciate that. You obviously haven't been getting much sleep or anything like that, or
You
much
can tell.
time with your family because you brought them with you. So, hey, they've been out campaigning. I see you have yard signs and everything.
right.
You giving those out. I saw the hoodie. I saw your son had a hoodie on and
That's
everything.
right. Yeah.
I like that hoodie, man.
Thank you.
I like that hoodie. I'm going to have to probably exchange one of my commish show hoodies with one of those Lieutenant Sam hoodies.
Hey, we
man.
can make that happen, actually.
All right.
So, yeah,
okay.
we'll make it
All
happen.
right.
Yeah.
So now, the campaign, you're running against the incumbent, and that's an uphill battle. It's a struggle or what?
Well, it's not just the incumbent; it's also the former sheriff.
What? The former sheriff?
The former
too?
sheriff, yeah. She's running, and there might be more people joining. There's another candidate that's from the East Coast, but the former sheriff, current sheriff, and myself, and like I said, there might be more people coming in. So yeah, it's like you said, it's going to be Not very easy, but hey, only tough people last. So tough times go away. Tough people, keep going. So
Now, what are the main things that you're campaigning for? You're not campaigning against anyone.
Correct.
You're campaigning for. What are you campaigning for?
number one, it's really the people. Any way you look at it, it's the people, and campaigning for doing the right thing, and it's all about what the people can do, not about how great the candidate is, and not boasting about who I am and all of the things that I've done in life. It's like it's your time right now. What can we do for you? So some of the issues that are coming up, actually, just based on more research, basically the same thing from like we talked about last time, except for now I got more stats and more information that the people need to know about. So we have some numbers to put them in front of the people. We have some info, some stats, some whatever they want to know.
You provided some stats here, like you pursuing your dissertation like I am. You have stats. And what are the main stats that you're dealing with in Dallas County that you see is a hindrance to getting us better public service in Dallas County and the Sheriff's Department?
So the number one thing, which is my, like all these three that we're talking about on my platform are like my top pet peeve. But then the first one is the bridging the gap between the community and the people, and all this disconnect that has been going on for the past few years, thanks to all the other media that did a great job at making us look bad. So we're trying to reinforce that image and bring it back to the way that it should be, and for people to have the trust again, and bring it so we can be trustworthy the way we need to be and the way that we should be. The DWI problems that have been going on in the county, and I was looking at some numbers, and being a DWI expert and instructor in the academy, and it's something that I love passionately. The year 2022, last year, we had almost the same number of DWI crashes in all the counties surrounding us combined. And that's a big number. So if you look at combined was 55, a little bit over 5,500 last year in combined. Out of those, we had close to 2,300 crashes that were related to DWI. Those are the ones reported, close to 2,300. So that's almost half, maybe a little bit more, if my math is right. The issues with and then with the fatalities, more than 300 people passed away, and to be exact, 312 related to DWI crashes. 108 out of those were in the county of Dallas, where we're going to become sheriffs. So then also the problem with the human trafficking, the problem that, and I was talking to experts about this area, and it's one of the most horrific, if not the most horrific, issues that a police officer can encounter, because all these children and women and men that are being trafficked, and I say men because it's not only children and women that are being trafficked, whether it's for sex trafficking, labor trafficking, name it. These people could be families, because I look at them and I think, okay, that could be my son, that could be my daughter, that could be a loved one, that could be a family or a cousin. So these issues actually are close to home, and actually they could be at home with a lot of us, but oftentimes we don't know about them, because the child or the person who's being trafficked, a lot of times they don't end up talking to us about it. So we just assume that everything is fine, because they tell us, "Oh, I'm fine, Mom," or "I'm fine, Dad," or "Nothing is going on," and we just go with it, because a lot of times we don't want to think about the bad. And then you have the issue of the in the jail. In the jail, we still have a lot of issues going on. Even though, they say they passed inspection and things are going well, but the jail is still understaffed. The jail staff is still short. They're overworked. They're unappreciated, and there are a lot of issues in there with the inmates being controlling of the jail itself. So if you look at they have issues of drugs being inside the jail. All the contraband that's not supposed to be in there, they're being brought in, whether it's by staff and whether it's by visitors, it could be both. So that issue continues to be a problem, and sometimes you can go back and think about it and say, well, maybe they're doing it out of frustration that they're bringing all this stuff because they're underpaid, they're overworked, et cetera, et cetera. So they're trying to find an avenue to do it. It's still not a justification, but these things need to be solved. They're like the correctional officers need to be taken care of. That way they can take care of the families or the loved ones of those visitors that come and see their loved ones that are incarcerated at the jail. There's that. And then, of course, it's just, all these things combined, they create, that's a major issue for all of us. And it's not only in the county, but it's also throughout the state of Texas. And if we see that, for those who don't realize or understand this, you need to know that Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex is a hub and a corridor for all the narcotics and all the trafficking to go to east, west, north, everywhere in the country. So we are the main artery for these things to continue, and that needs to stop.
Okay, now, sex trafficking.
Yes.
But let's go back on something you said earlier. You said passing inspection.
Yes.
You mean Dallas County jails hadn't passed inspection before? And what does that mean?
So the jail has to pass an inspection according to the state, and it's not just okay. You have a jail and you have inmates and that's it. But look, they have to go through an inspection. That inspection goes. It checks on, say, the inmate status, checks on the housing, checks on a lot of issues that pertain to the jail, funding, budget, staffing. Which is a major deal in the Dallas County Jail. So, in the jail almost failed, or actually they failed it before. But then somebody was brought in from the state to help out with this situation, and then they said that they brought it up to they passed inspection, but. Still, even with that, just because inspection has been passed, it doesn't mean that the situation in the jail is ideal. We still have issues of where the families going to visit their loved ones. There are issues there. You still have issues
Such
with
as what?
Like if they go in there, their loved ones, like the people that are inside the jail, could be assaulted, could be attacked. And they have the drug problem going on.
How do you have a drug problem inside the jail?
So yes, and if you look at in the law, actually, it makes it a felony to pass or to possess any contraband inside a correctional facility, and a lot of people bring that. So and this is not just in Dallas County. This is actually in all over the prisons, all over. Correction officers would bring in contraband into the jail, and they would sell it to the inmates.
Wait
also,
a minute, hold on. We got some correctional officers that are dirty.
Yeah, that's known to happen. That is known to happen.
No, don't say that. Really?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And actually, throughout all my 20+ years of doing this, we've seen this happen over and over.
That's the only way, because if you, I visited people before in doing research on mass incarceration,
yes.
And they check you and double check you if you're a person, a civilian going in. That's the only way there can be any drugs in the jail, is if the people in the jail are dirty themselves.
That's the only way. We're not going to sit here. Look, we're not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. It's
not a manna from heaven.
No,
it's like drugs come from somewhere too.
Yeah, but also from the visitors, the people that bring in, because they can hide it on the children, they can hide it on themselves, They can put it. So there are many different ways. If they want to get creative, they
all
can
right.
do
So we're not going to tell people how to do it, just in case.
No, we're not going to do that. No.
All right, go ahead. All right, I got you off track. Go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so where were we? Talking about but you're going back to, it doesn't matter how much inspection you do and how much you got to take care of your own people inside, the staff, the family, okay, the people that are working under you. They need to be taken care of so they can take care of the higher ups. That's something that I always say. That's the foundation. The jailers or the correctional officers are the main foundation of the jail, and a lot of them are leaving. A lot of them don't want to work. Retirement comes up, they don't want to renew, or they want to re-up because they're being treated unfairly. There's a lot of nepotism. Qualification means nothing. And it's all based on, hey, I know you, I'm gonna hook you up, I'm gonna get you a promotion
That's
just
the
because
hookup.
nepotism. That's it. And a lot of people don't like that and don't appreciate it. Like, why would somebody that has X amount of years on the job and he has all the qualification that they need to have in order for them to get that rank or that position, but then it goes to somebody else just because favoritism and whatnot. Or maybe we're only going to hire bilinguals that just for this job. And if you want to become X or Y position, you have to be bilingual. That has been known to happen. And this is not me. This is actually from officials within the jail telling me all this information. So
Well, how would you change it?
How would I change it? Okay, commish, you have the qualifications. Okay, you come and apply for the job. We'll look at your quals and go from there. Not because I know you, or not because of favoritism, and not because of nepotism. That doesn't need to have. That causes nothing but frustration and for people to leave.
Okay.
And I've spoken actually to some people that retired recently, and they said the exact same thing. They all say the exact same thing. It's not something that's somebody just saying it just to make it up. It's actually a thing. People are and this is a quote from one of the officials in there. He said, people are leaving, people are frustrated. Promotion is based on favoritism, nepotism, and not qualifications. So, and we know that the sheriff's office has a lot of good candidates. I know a lot of them on a personal level. They have a lot of great qualifications, but they're not in positions that they're qualified to be in. Instead of that, they promote people that are, just based on hookups and, nepotism and based on favoritism. And I like you and you're this, you're my people. I'm gonna hook up my own people and my own kind and my own this. And that cannot be a thing anywhere, especially in law enforcement.
Okay. And we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we will be talking about, the fact that Dallas, Texas is one of the largest areas of sex trafficking in the United States. And what can you do about it? All right, we'll be right back with the Commish Radio Show.
Yes, sir.
Who was that masked man? You mean you don't know? That was no masked man. That was the Commish. Saturdays from 5 to 6 p.m. on the Fishbowl Radio Network.
Right, mics are hot and we're hot, and you know what? The reason why we're hot is because we are tired of people misusing our young women and our young men. I have a 13-year-old daughter, a 13-year-old granddaughter. My understanding is that her age is the age in which sex traffickers look for young girls to be sex trafficked, and I'm hot about that. I'm hot and mad about that.
Rightfully
because
so.
this is not only my family, it's your family as well.
Of
I
course.
know some people who have been sex trafficked as well, and that's something that we need to stop. Tell us about sex trafficking in Dallas.
So in the streets of Dallas, and this is just a rough estimate, average 400 teen girls on Dallas streets nightly. The average age, 13.
Wait a minute,
Now,
hold on. You said on the streets.
On the streets.
I mean, they're out
on the streets. That is correct. Out on the streets.
So aren't they noticed by being 13 years old, 14, 15 years old by being out?
Well, I mean, they should be. But then you go back and say, where are the parents? A lot of them come from broken families. then there's a market for that too. And I say this with a heavy heart, but that unfortunately that does exist. Average age is 13. Now, when we say average, we know that there's higher and there's much lower. So makes you think, like, could it be 12? Could it be 10? Could it be that? Yes, of course. Could it be more? Absolutely. But that's the average. And especially when you're talking about a $99 million trade just in Dallas alone.
$99 million.
$99 million.
In sex trafficking.
The illegal sex
Illegal.
traffic. Yes, of course. I mean, it's all illegal.
Oh, you got legal sex trafficking
Not
too?
in Texas, but,
Okay.
not in Texas. But the illegal sex trade in is $99 million in Dallas. And hundreds of them roam the streets. Back again, I mean, everywhere. I mean, not just specific street or specific area, but you'll see them all over the place. So that is just the sex trafficking, or that's just the trade. And you also, which is different than human trafficking itself. It's different. That one, we can actually, if you like, and if the audience would like it, we can actually talk a whole lot more about it in a special segment. Because
Okay, so now what we have is modern trafficking, human trafficking,
yes, sir.
and sex trafficking. What is the difference between human trafficking and sex trafficking?
So human trafficking could be of two or more categories, but the main two is the sex trade or the sex trafficking, and then you also have the labor trafficking. Labor trafficking, it could be just what they do is they bring in people from, it could be from abroad, from across the border, it could be from here, but what they do is that they use them, they overwork them, tremendously overwork them, and we're talking about 20 plus hours daily, every day, for as long as it takes. Either they until their debt is paid, or they'll do it until they drop dead, and then there's no outcry, they have nobody to go to because they're controlled by their their handlers or the industry that they're working in. Okay, so there's that, and it's the way that the traffickers look at them is that how much money can they bring, and they're going to keep generating money and doing that until they can't do it no more.
Have you ran across anyone that's been sex trafficked? And what was the story on it? You want, no names to be mentioned.
Of course not. If it's yes, I have run across it, and I ran across it to where, and if it's going to be blunt here, people need to know that these things do exist. Right. Is that I've ran across it where people are actually, within the household, it does happen, and people don't know about it. The parents don't know about it. But you also have the type where the parent is actually the one who's doing it to his daughter and to his children, and forcing others to have sex with their daughters, with their sons. The father is actually doing it to his children, forcing the siblings doing it to each other. And then bringing in others, bringing in men and women, throughout the day and night to come and do that.
Okay, what can the Dallas County Sheriff's Department do about that?
Look, Commissioner, there's a major issue before we even get to the police department or this material in the police academy. You know how many hours it is?
How many?
4 hours only. 4 hours to talk about all this that happens to our children and to our communities. We're talking about it only in 4 hours. And after that, all it is just the bare minimum to get by. So we say that, yes, we have trained our cadets and our future police officers on
That's
nothing.
just lip service, isn't it?
It's not even that. It's not even that. And I protested this, said, this needs to be a 2-day course at least for people to understand what is going on, for our cadets and our future police officers to understand what's going on. They need at least 2 days of training. And for you to give me all this 500 slides, 600 slides of material to teach in 4 hours, there's no way I can give this justice. And I'm not talking even about the teaching. Right. I'm talking about the justice to the victims of the human trafficking industry. And I'm sorry to say industry, but that's what
that's what it is.
That's what they call it.
That's what it is.
So,
that's why this is important. That's the reason why I like the fact you fired up about this.
I am livid. I mean, I sit down and I talk about this. When I talk to people, I mean, I'm in tears just talking about it. This right here needs to stop. And then here's the thing. This needs to be addressed the way it should be. It needs to be addressed the way it should be. When you talk about it only for 4 hours in the academy, unacceptable.
Right.
Because what if that was your daughter? What if that was your child? And I'm talking about those who are in power to make this happen. What if that was yours? And you let it happen? You just 4 hours of training? No, people have no experience about it. There are no units to do it except for maybe here and there because some officers are passionate and they really want to go out and do something about it. Okay, and they do. But then there's no backing. There's no education. There are no task forces that can do it. Okay, which is all. I've formed a lot of. I formed a team actually. My command staff. Part of it is going to be handling the human trafficking if we win this, or when we win this election. So that's the number one thing. And now, what can the sheriff's office do? What can the sheriff's office do? I don't want to reveal too much. If I may, we can probably talk about this. But I've actually,
as we said, corporate America, we'll talk offline.
Yeah, we can talk.
But
we
you
can
know,
talk offline.
but you know, this whole deal here that you're talking about is bringing awareness on it. I've talked to a lot of candidates who ran for sheriff, and I haven't heard anyone as passionately as you talk about it.
Look, I'm a family man. All right, number one. Even if I was not a family man, okay, this is.
I'm not saying they don't care.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that you are very passionate about it.
It needs to be, because this is not. I mean, I only see every now and then I see few people talk about this matter. It needs to be addressed even more. Okay, this thing is not going to stop until we put the brakes on it, and it only happens if we get enough officers and enough push and enough support from the judicial system to tackle these issues.
So that's a partnership between the sheriff's department, the police department, and
right,
and the
So
judicial.
you have 32 cities in the county of Dallas. 32 cities. You have almost 3 million people or more in the county. 909 square miles. The entire county is. Okay. If all of us put our hands together and we all corroborate efforts, and we put our heads together and we put all our efforts, and we put the experts from this department to do a task force with multi-agency task force, we can make things happen, whether it's this, DWI, etc., and let the officers do their jobs. Don't tie their hands and don't let them be unable to work when it comes to police work. Let them do their jobs the way that they're trained to do, the way that your tax dollars pay them to do. And if not, they're going to be frustrated. They're going to hate doing police work. And then they're going to just at the end say, you know what? Forget about this. I'm just going to go and, start my own business. And that way I don't have to worry about it, because if I can't fix it, I don't need to be in here. So shame on us if we wear this uniform and we're not doing the job that we're supposed to be doing. And a lot of people say, oh, it's too much paperwork. Oh, it's too much this or too much the other. And that right there makes me sick to my stomach, because when somebody doesn't want to do his job because it's too much paperwork, so what? Isn't it worth saving somebody's life, really, officers? Isn't it worth saving somebody's life and going out there and protect the community? And this code of ethics that we recite every day in the police academy, that you're going to do your job to the fullest and you want to take it, you want to do your job and you're going to have the integrity and you're going to do this. Where is it? And this is not just the blue. This is the people on top, the people that sit on top, judicial system, judges, prosecutors, all these.
Oh, you going Nino Brown on
Oh, my
man.
God, man.
It's bigger than me.
Get me started, yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're doing. All right. Hey, we get ready to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we'll go with the closing. So Victor's handling everything on controls today. So Victor, let's play a couple of drops, and then we'll be right back, okay?
Hey, this is Cheryl Smith, and when I'm looking for news and information, I tune into The Commish on Saturdays.
I got so much trouble on my mind, refuse to lose. Here's your ticket. Here's the drama get wicked. The clue to you to push the back the black attack. So I sack and dap and slack the Mac. Now I'm ready to mic it. Hear my favoritism roll.
From that nervous first date to those joyous good grades, Universal Academy is there for your child from preschool to college. Our Cambridge-approved curriculum, embedded with the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills, prepares your student for a lifetime of educational achievements and success. Universal Academy creates an engaging, nurturing environment for our students. Enroll now at Universal Academy. We're with you every step of the way.
Hi, My name is Gail Todd with Townview Realtors. If you find yourself in the market to buy, sell, lease, or maybe you want to be a part of this hot real estate market by investing, just give my team of professionals and I a call at 214-675-9572. Again, that's 214-675-9572. Or you can email me at gtodd88@yahoo.com. With me, it's all about you.
Hey, this is Alvin A.J. Johnson. Whenever I'm not out in the community making it better, I'm listening to my man Ed Gray on the Commish Radio Show.
Ready?
Actually,
All right, we're back again. Victor, man, I like that, man. Did you just play that last mellow deal? That was like me right there, except it wasn't me talking. So play it again. Yeah, ease that in. Try to ease the tension. You know, we got Lieutenant Sam all fired up and everything, so ease the tension a little bit.
man, I'm telling
Go
you.
ahead, play it again. You just had it, man. You should already. There you go.
Hey, this is Alvin A.J. Johnson. Whenever I'm not out in the community making it better, I'm listening to my man Ed Gray on the Commish Radio Show.
Constable. Man.
Look,
Yeah, he ran for constable.
who is he?
AJ.
Oh yeah.
AJ Johnson, man. Yeah, he playing it like that. Did that like that. Man, you know.
Nah, you gotta get me to do something like that now.
You got the commission look. You don't need all that. You got the beard, man.
Oh man,
You don't need
man,
all that.
man. Maybe I gotta do you one in Arabic, maybe. Like,
Yeah, hey,
done.
done.
All right,
Do one in
let's-
Arabic.
let's get
Okay,
there.
we got because we do have our drops in Spanish, Korean. We have that too. So I want you to play, Victor. I need you to play my Spanish drop later on. We do have them in French as well, because when I say the best radio show from Como to the Congo, you know they speak French in the Congo. So therefore, that's the reason why we have that. So Victor, look for our international drops, because you know I am international. So let's go back, man. All right.
Yes, sir.
We're going to be local now. We went from global to local. So go with your closing, man.
All right, so we're gonna, when we win this election, we're gonna make it to where officers are able to work, have the equipment that they need. They're gonna be able to work with other agencies. If they call for backup, nobody's gonna cancel them. Like, hey, dispatch, I need backup from XYZ police department, and then the supervisor will call them and say, no, you're not gonna do this. That's not gonna happen. They're going to be able to wear the uniforms that they see that are going to be beneficial to them as sheriff's office. That way, they're distinguished from local police. And I already spoke with some officers about that, some deputies about that, and they just love the idea. I actually got their votes too. We're going to fight the corruption and the nepotism that's within the department, to make an example out of that for other agencies. That if they have these issues, for them to follow the lead and do the same thing. The jail problem, we're going to take care of our own, number one. That way they can take care of the inmates. That way they can take care of their families and loved ones that come in to visit them. We're going to take care of our children and impress them enough to where they want to become law enforcement, good citizens, model citizens for the community and within the county. And also, we want to be the lead. We have some good counties within the country that I'm really impressed by how they handle business, but it's time for Dallas County to shine and be that role model for other agencies and other countries actually to follow our lead.
All right.
So,
Lieutenant Sam, when is the election? You out campaigning now? You
yes, sir.
got the turkey dressing and all that done. When,
You already know.
So when can we vote?
So, first of all, make sure that you register to vote. Number one, start registering right now. And also the other thing, if I can throw this in, you can become a VDR, which is the Volunteer Deputy Registrar. You can go to the Dallas County Election Department, take the test. It's really easy. And you can become a Deputy Registrar. You can actually sign people up to register to vote. That's your civic engagement. That is your duty, okay, your obligation. So you need to get that done. Also, you can, when the election time is on, then we can start the early voting, and then the primaries will be on March 5th, and then the election day, we'll see you again then, will be on November 5th of next year. So yes, we do have a long a year ahead of us, but that doesn't mean we can just sit back and relax until last minute kind of voter. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that we're hitting the ground running, and that we're making sure that we're engaging with the community and we're educating people about this. The one thing they can do is that if they don't understand, how the process works, they can drop us a line, Mohamad for Sheriff, or they can at the Facebook page and ask all this information. We'd be happy to answer it, or just contact the Dallas County Election Department, go to their website. All the information is on there, and they're very extremely helpful. I mean, oh my God, their customer service is just amazing. Call them and find out what they, what information you need, and that's really it. And when you go vote, don't go alone. Take at least 5 or 6 people with you.
Five or six.
5 or 6.
They always told me to take a friend. They ain't moved it up 5 or 6.
No. We don't do bare minimum here. Okay, we want to go all the way. So take 5 or 6 people with you. Make sure that all your family members are registered to vote. And as soon as they turn 18, make sure that they're registered right then. And that's it. It's a civic duty. And one thing I can say with a quote from Lieutenant Sam Mohamad here: you're voting, even though it's not just your obligation or your right. It's actually your power that you need to use. So
you got the power because you're looking at the
right.
Commish Radio Show with Lieutenant Sam Mohamad.
That's right.
Remember to vote. Think in 5s. March 5th and November 5th in 2024. All
That's right.
We'll see you guys back next week on the Commish Radio Show.
Hola, yo soy María Cebes y me estoy postulando para la Corte 192 y estoy escuchando en la radio el Commish Radio Show.
Hey, whenever I want good Cajun food, I go to Thibodeau's, located at 107 North Cedar Ridge in Duncanville, Texas. They're really hot, just like the Commish Radio Show in Thibodeau's. Hot as this gumbo. We will see you later at Thibodeau's.